Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, seventh chapter of chemistry, that is classification of elements and the periodic table. So before explaining the lesson, I want to give some brief introduction of classification of elements. For example, when you go to a medical shop, you have seen that there are different type of medicines. Many medicines are there. So when you ask the person to give some medicine, he gives the medicine without any difficulty. So in the same manner, when you go to a supermarket, so you can see there are different sections like grocery department and essentials. So like that there are so many departments are there. So here you'll observe that many things are arranged in a particular order. So what is the use of arranging in a particular order? It will be easy for us to collect the items. In the same manner, there are many number of chemicals known to the scientist and chemist. So these chemists, they try to classify. Classify in the sense means arrange elements in groups depending on their properties, so that it will be easy for them to identify the elements. Why did the need arise for the arrangement of elements? So see here, at the time of Robert Boyle, there were 13 elements known. Similarly, at the end of 18th century, that is at the time of Lavoisier, so 11 more elements were discovered. Similarly, by 1865, 63 elements were discovered. And in 1940, 91 elements were discovered. So can you see here, first we had 13 elements. By the time of 1940, the number of elements is gradually increasing. So the chemist, they thought of arranging all these elements in a order according to the physical and chemical properties. So in an attempt to classify the elements, Daubernier was the first person to make a law. So this law is known as Daubernier's law of traits. So in 1829, he noted all the elements present and he arranged them into groups. These groups consisted of 3 elements. So 3 means trait. So he arranged the elements in groups of 3 numbers. So what he did, he tried to give relationship depending on their properties as well as depending on their atomic weight. So this was the attempt done by Daubernier. So basically what he has done, for example, this is the first element and this is the second element. He arranged them according to the weight. So to get the middle element, so what he did, he has taken the mean of both these elements and he found out the middle value. For example, so he has taken lithium and potassium. The atomic weight of lithium is 7 and that of potassium is 39. So he placed the middle element as sodium. So what he has done, he has taken the average of both of them. When he has taken the average, he got the value of 23. So when you see this 23, the atomic weight of sodium is 23. So in this manner, he added the first element and the last element and he got the middle element by taking the mean. So like that, he arranged some of the elements present at that time. So here you can see the table in which he has arranged the elements. So he got the middle element by taking the mean of this element and this element. So when you are taking the mean, you are getting this element. So like that he arranged the elements. But this law had some limitations. So what are these limitations? All elements present at that time could not be arranged. And the next limitation was this law failed for low masses or for very high masses. That is, for example, if I am taking fluorine and bromine, if I am taking chlorine here, the atomic weight of chlorine is not average of fluorine and bromine. This was one more limitation. Coming on to the third limitation, as the techniques, that means the technology increased, what happened? The atomic masses were exactly measured depending on the techniques. So this law was not strictly valid. So these are some of the limitations of this Daubernier's law of trades.